This is Notre Dame tight end Mitchell Evans.
What if I told you there's a sneaky Notre Dame tight end that weighs 258 pounds with a 90th percentile 10-yard split and no one's really talking about him? What happened here was in 2023, he was averaging 53 yards per game, then goes down with a knee injury. This last year was in a rotation. Production gets cut in half. But I think I see somebody that can turn into a full-time starting tight end. He's one of the best blockers in the draft class. On top of that, I thought that he's a reliable target. We just have to get back to the 2023 tape and not the 2024 stuff.
Mitchell Evans was so much fun to watch. And this is from a lineage of Notre Dame tight ends. I'll just name a few. It'll keep us here all day if I go down further the list, but like Michael Mayer in 2023, Tommy Trimble 2021, Cole Kmet in 2020, Durham Smythe in 2018. I remember the Troy Nicholas days of him being Baby Gronk in 2014. But yeah, rarely do these guys sneak up on draft Twitter or NFL fans in general. But I definitely believe Mitchell Evans has, and he just like kind of stuck around this program and really made his mark over the last 2 years. I saw many of the same things. Like, I do believe in the NFL, he's going to live into that 0 to 9 yard range of catching a bunch of passes. But man, there were also some real highlight reel plays of him having just maybe some of the best hands of this class, and not just the tight end position, like tipping the ball to himself and also one-handed grabs over the middle of the field too. And then, he would run these like nice little hook or curl patterns in the soft space between safeties or between linebackers that made me think that like, yeah, he has a little bit more receiving juice than maybe given credit for on initial blush.
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy to average 53 yards per game as a junior, especially in that offense, very pro styled offense. We know it's going to translate to the league, whatever he was doing. I thought the same things as you did, like the one-handed grabs in against man coverage in traffic, phenomenal stuff. Some of the best catches in the draft class. And then I also saw just a big 6'5", almost 260-pound tight end against zone coverage over the linebackers, right in front of the safeties. Big frame, willing to take a huge hit on these seam routes, dig routes behind linebackers. And I think that's like a really big part of offenses, and the fact that he can do that from inline and occasionally from the slot. And I think that the cherry on top is that 10-yard split, 90th percentile. That's not even weight adjusted. That's just 90th percentile. Those are like the ingredients that we're talking about for a legit sleeper tight end. So I made sure he's in my top 100. I'm not sure if he's going to go top 100, but if he does, I think everyone should have him on his radar, because I think this could be somebody in a couple years from now. It's like, how did this happen? Oh, he was just injured and we kind of forgot about him, but he looks like a legit starter to me.
Yeah, I would rank him as a top 6 tight end in this class. I will say he did have a broken foot in 2022, a torn ACL and MCL in 2023. Like you said, just turned 22 in March. He has the same short arms and wingspan that Tyler Warren does, but I thought Mitchell Evans' blocking was like a lot better than Tyler Warren's. Like he sustained it. He did a really good job when asked to stay on the end of the line. Other than the 10-yard split, basically every single other test was in the 50th percentile, which I do think kind of caps his ceiling here of like what this could turn into with even a bigger role. But the name that just kept jumping out to me, and people are going to laugh, but man, the dude's made $35+ million, latches onto good teams. Everyone wants to keep paying him. Will Dissly here with Mitchell Evans.
Wow.
He has some like crazy games of receiving, but more so he's just like the sturdy, trusted tight end for you that honestly continues to add starting job after starting job. Yeah, Will Dissly, I think, is a nice comparison here from Mitchell Evans.
That's a great one. And Dissly's been, I mean, talk about having injuries throughout his entire career. Dissly has just been like, he's just a workhorse, and he's like a cockroach coming back from the dead over and over and over again. So yeah, I really like this guy. My last little note with him though is this is just classic Notre Dame stuff. They're playing Navy. They're up 35-7 in the second half against Navy, and they run a flea flicker wheel route to Mitchell Evans. Like, what are we doing this to poor Navy? But at least we got to see Mitchell Evans run up the sideline for that one. But come on, Notre Dame.
I mean, he looks just on paper like the most boring white tight end that you can think of. But then, against Ohio State, I think it was in 2023, just an awesome seam round in breaker touchdown. And then another sweet catch against Duke, again, tip drill to himself. There was more of like that 10 to 15 yard stuff. and more like off frame, at least I'm going to get a hand on this football and like
Yeah.
better ball skills, then you would definitely think. And then I do love how he paces routes and like geared down against that soft area of the middle field too in zone coverage. So I wouldn't call him quick or fast after the catch. He's a bit lumbering, I felt, but he definitely has the body control before it, and he'll pick up a few extra yards there too.
Yeah.
So like this is just a really fun player who actually had 31 slot targets, then 12 on the outside and 16 inline. So, early on, if he's your second tight end and then he morphs into your first tight end, if,
Mhm.
the elder statesman retires, that would not shock me at all with this guy.
Yeah. All right. I'm glad that we did a video on him. He's not being talked about, but I think there's something to this.
Yeah, I totally agree. All right. We have tons of prospect profile videos on the channel. So if this is the first one or the second one or the third one, make it 4, 5, 6, hit that subscribe button, leave a thumbs up, and we will check you out on the next one.